We are learning more about the death of a Breathitt County boy who had been reported missing. And we'll look at filmmaking as an economic development tool. I'm Robin Tillman, and this is the Mountaintop Daily. One day after the body of a missing Breathitt County boy was discovered, court records are shedding light on the events that led to his death. 10-year-old Jaden Spicer was believed to have disappeared from his home during the early morning hours of August 6th, prompting a week-long search. But during an interview with police on Tuesday, his mother, 33-year-old Felicia Gross, confessed to giving her son a sleeping medication prior to putting him to bed on August 5th. She further claims that the medicine caused him to have a medical emergency that killed him. After his death, she told police she took his body to a wooded area along Canoe Road, nearly 20 miles from her home. That's where police found Spicer's body on Tuesday, buried in a shallow grave. Gross has now been charged with second-degree manslaughter, abuse of a corpse, evidence tampering, falsely reporting an incident, and 2 counts of witness tampering. Shaping Our Appalachian Region explores a variety of ways to strengthen the Eastern Kentucky economy, some of which might not readily come to mind. For example, one topic to be discussed during the group's upcoming summit is how to make the region more attractive to filmmakers. Sheldon spoke with SOAR to find out more about that topic.
The organization SOAR is set to discuss ways to see the region become a destination for filmmakers during its annual summit this year.
Part of what we're focused on in this year's summit is really understanding the film industry. The state has passed legislation to be able to make us more attractive to film. And we know that movies, TV series, and things like that, they want to be in places of nature, of space, of elements that come with all the TV shows where, you know, how many times have we watched a TV show or a movie and said, hey, that could be filmed here? Well, it can be. But how do we get ready? How do we position ourselves? It's almost like economic development, right? How do we position ourselves, put the assets in place to make us attractive, to make the case, along with other rural communities from across America or the globe for that, to be able to attract film and industry.
One of the biggest names in the horror film industry will also be on hand for the summit.
Jeffrey Reddick is the creator of the Final Destination series from Breathitt County. And, you know, I've got to know Jeffrey over the past month or so. And he is just a tremendous individual, first of all. And he is being very kind with his time. So he's not only coming here and have a discussion about his story, which is really remarkable of how his time in Breathitt County, and you watch the Final Destination movies and you think about the log truck scene, which is really like iconic in that movie. Well, that came about from traveling the Mountain Parkway. So, I mean, there's all these things in the movie, and just, you know, listening to him talk about how this incredible franchise of movies really stems back to his time, his adventures, his experiences growing up in Eastern Kentucky. And we're just excited to have him.
Also, Ball says the ideal outcome would be seeing the ideas and conversations now becoming realities this time next year.
The ideas that are transformative in Eastern Kentucky, a lot of times are already here. They're in the hearts and the minds of the people that wake up every day and get at it. And so we know that there's been conversations across the region about, you know, movie and film production and the arts in general. And so, you know, we want folks to leave informed, but more importantly, leave inspired, because, you know, we often say it's what happens the 360 plus days after the SOAR Summit. When we come back and convene a year from now and we create that stage for Eastern Kentucky to shine, what's going to be on that stage?
The 2025 SOAR Summit takes place August 26th through the 29th at the Corbin Arena. Reporting for Mountaintop News, I'm Sheldon Compton.
Coming up after the break, it's move-in day number 2 at the University of Pikeville. We'll tell you about it when the Mountaintop Daily continues. But first, sports and weather.
With this Mountaintop Sports Report for Wednesday, I'm Brittany Rowe reporting. On Monday, Mountaintop Sports stopped by the University of Pikeville Media Day. We had a chance to speak with quarterback Xavier Malone about the upcoming season.
I think honestly, we have a bunch of young guys, so I think we're all doing a good job of bringing it all together with a bunch of young guys that we have from just coming in recruiting. Me and Lee had a great relationship when we were here, so I think Coming back from that, it's not really much of a difference. It's like a family here, so coming back, it's just going with the flow, basically. We'll go from there.
On Friday, Pikeville and Eastridge football will scrimmage at the Ridge at 7:30 p.m. Mountaintop Sports will have highlights from the scrimmage on our Mountaintop Sports Facebook page and on X. Beyond the Scoreboard will return on Monday, August 25th, live from the Mountaintop Media Stage in the Appalachian Wireless Arena Plaza. For the latest area high school and college sports news, remember to check us out at mountain-topsports.com or like and follow us on Facebook, X, and TikTok. Reporting for Mountaintop Sports, I'm Brittany Rowe. Have a great Wednesday, sports fans.
When the government took Social Security away from honest Eastern Kentuckians, Attorney Ned Pillersdorf got the hearings declared unconstitutional. When the women guards were harassed at Little Sandy Jail, Ned fought back, securing a $1 million verdict at trial. And when the state tried to shut down Cordia School, Ned fought back and kept the school open. Attorney Ned Pillersdorf fights for the underdog, and he's ready to fight for you.
It's that time again to save big and score huge savings on our back-to-school bundle. Come into Appalachian Wireless today to see how you can save over $1,000 when you pair your favorite devices. Because the more you pair, the more you save. It's a deal that lets you gear up the entire family for school while saving big in the process. Stop in today at one of your favorite Appalachian Wireless retail locations or visit us at AppalachianWireless.com to learn how you can help your student get back to school ready. Hurry! Offer ends August 31st or while supplies last. Because we are you, we are Appalachian Wireless.
Another round of students began moving in today for a new semester at the University of Pikeville. But the first two rounds of moving in are just practice for the biggest day, which is still to come. Nick gives us the details on what can be a monumental task.
The University of Pikeville continues to see its student body returning in waves for the fall 2025 semester. Student athletes, along with those involved in the ACE program, were able to move in Wednesday, August 13th, to get a leg up on their studies and practice schedules. Director of Public Safety Lee Upchurch tells us more.
We still want everybody to be safe out, and we've contacted our partners, Pikeville Fire and Pikeville Police, and we all are in agreement that we needed to put our slow signs, put our signage out on Hambly, just to keep things moving slow, just to also give people direction on where to go, because you've got a few people that that don't know the area that are coming in today, but most of them are returning students. So we've got our ACE program, we've got our archery, and we've got our golf teams moving in today. Our campus groups are starting to fire back up again. A lot of activity across campus. We've got our first week move-in activities starting next week, and obviously there'll be a lot of traffic, a lot of foot traffic, a lot of things going on in downtown Pikeville, and it's just so exciting to it's finally here.
Now approximately 50% of the total number of campus residents has been moved in. Pikeville residents can expect a much busier day with heavy traffic on Tuesday, August 19th, when the freshman class goes through orientation.
Yeah, we just want to make everybody aware. Our big freshman move-in is next Tuesday, August the 19th, and please give grace on that one because we are going to have some road closures on that. We're going to be closing Kentucky Avenue between Willow Street and High Street, and then South Elm Street. So we'll have a lot of public safety officers out directing traffic. We'll have a lot of signage out, and just please, motorists, please just give us grace. Give the students grace, as these are students that have never been here before. So they are freshmen. So just give them a little bit of extra time.
Reporting for Mountaintop News, I'm Nick Collum.
That will do it for this edition of the Mountaintop Daily. Be sure to check us out at 6 p.m. every weekday on Mountaintop TV, the Mountaintop TV app, and the Mountaintop News Facebook page. With your Mountaintop Daily, I'm Robin Tillman for Mountaintop News.